Sign the certificate of nomination before 5 p.m. next Monday evening. That's March 2nd. If you fail to sign the certificate of nomination before the deadline, you'll have to file nomination papers in order to run for the office that you want.
Ginny, that's the 5th.
Next Monday is the 5th?
Yeah.
Okay, Monday the 5th then. Do I have
Friday the 7th.
Friday the 7th.
2012, right? Check.
If you take out nomination papers for an office and you collect signatures, you may not collect a signature from anybody that votes here tonight. The deadline for taking out nomination papers will be Thursday, March 29th. Is that the correct date?
We'll go with that one.
Let me check.
Thursday the 29th,
Is the 29th the Thursday? Okay, Thursday the 29th. That's the deadline for taking out papers. The deadline for returning the signed papers will be 5 p.m. on Thursday the 29th of March. Okay?
Thursday's the 1st.
March 1st is also a Thursday.
But it's not. Okay. The annual Citizens Caucus in the town of Conway will be held at the Town Hall on Monday, the 27th of February, 2012 at 8 p.m. The caucus will be held for the purpose of making nominations for the town officers whose terms expire as follows. Victor C. Trombley, Selectman for 3 years. Russell A. French, Assessor for 3 years. David I. Chichester, Member of the Board of Health for 3 years. Susan Bridge, Member of the Board of Health for 3 years. Stephen L. Zacon Anderson, Member of the School Committee for 3 years. A. Elaine Rogers, Member of the School Committee for 3 years. Michael J. Kirkalonis, Member of the Planning Board for 3 years. New position, Planning Board Member for 3 years. New position, Member of the Planning Board for 2 years. New position, Member of the Planning Board for 1 year. And J. Nicholas Filler, Moderator for 1 year. And on the Planning Board offices, you'll notice that there are 2 offices on there for 3 years, 1 for 2 years, 1 for 1 year. The next time these people are elected, or the next time this office comes up for election, that will be a 3-year term. This is so we will have, the planning board will be like the school committee and the board of health as a 5-member board. They will come up 2 at a time, and 2, 2, and 1. Okay?
Katie?
Yes.
Can I have the floor for a second?
Yes.
Somebody here, I believe, either somebody with a green Jeep with FF1664 or a light blue Toyota 978 2KT. One or the other's got to move because it's blocking the road. Thank you.
Okay.
4.
I'll go to the end.
Okay, we'll take nominations for chairman of the caucus.
I'd like to nominate John P. O'Rourke.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Oh, I got railroaded on that one.
All right, I guess I don't have to do anything more on that one.
So what do I have to do here?
This is what you have to do.
Follow whatever Jeannie tells you to do.
Well, we don't write that. You're going to appoint a secretary to write the names of the board.
Uh-oh. Rather than my appointing anyone to be secretary, who would like to volunteer to be secretary to write the names on the board?
Ginny would.
No, I'm holding the chalk for you, Peter.
No, not my handwriting.
I write pretty well.
Go ahead, Jim.
I think, legibly. If it's a good piece of chalk. Last year the chalk didn't work.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, they would have the chalk.
We need to appoint 2 tellers. Joe McGranigan, you're gonna be a teller. Chuck, you're gonna be a teller. I'd like to recognize the motion from the floor.
I move that in case of vacancy or vacancies caused by death, withdrawal, or ineligibility, the selectman may fill such vacancy by appointment.
All those in
Do we have
favor?
do we have a second?
Go ahead, Jim.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, establish caucus polling hours. How long does this go on for, Gene?
Usually the meeting votes to do this. Normally we don't get started until 8:30 at night. We hold them open till 9. So,
Make a motion, we have the polls open 20 minutes after we close nominations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll receive and record nominations. We have nominations for selectmen for 3 years.
I'd like to place in nomination the name of Rick Bean for selectman.
Second.
Rick Bean. Do we have any other nominations for selectmen?
I'd like to nominate Elizabeth Braccia for selectman.
Do we have a second? Any other nominations for selectmen for 3 years?
John, you have to spell the name out.
Yeah, it has to be Richard Bean, if that's his voting.
Yep.
It's gotta be the voting
Leave it like
name.
Richard.
it has to be Richard R.
Go the whole way.
Bigger
blackboard.
His finger the eraser, we don't know.
Richard R.
Richard R.
Richard R.
Okay.
Has to be as it appears on the voter registry.
Yep. Elizabeth J.
Okay.
I think that one
All right, so far we have in nomination Richard R. Bean and Elizabeth J. Braccia. Do we have any other nominations for selectmen?
I move nominations for selectmen be closed.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, nominations for selectmen are closed. Assessor for 3 years. Do we have nominations?
I'd like to nominate Russell A. French.
Thanks.
Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Any other nominations for assessor, 3 years?
I move that nominations for assessor be closed.
Second. Nominations for assessor are closed. Member of the Board of Health for 3 years. Do we have a nomination?
I nominate Susan Bridge.
Second.
Second. Does she have a middle initial?
Is that just Susan Bridge?
That's how she's registered.
Just Susan Bridge.
Just Susan Bridge. Any other nominations for this position on the Board of Health? Need a motion to close nominations for this position?
Make a motion to close.
Second. Nominations are closed for this position. Board of Health for 3 years. Do I have a nomination?
I nominate Gina McNeely.
And that's That's Regina M.
Regina.
I was
M.
gonna ask.
Neely. Thank you.
That is. Regina M.
Are
Spell
we
it.
spelling this?
MC,
Just the MC, not MAC.
MC, N-E-E-L-Y.
Okay.
Any other nominations for this Board of Health position?
I move nominations be closed.
Second.
Okay, nominations for this position are closed. Next position is local school committee member for 3 years. Do we have nominations for that position?
I'd like to nominate Robert D. Moriarty.
Didn't hear that.
Robert D. Moriarty.
Robert V is in Victor.
D.
Okay. Robert D. Moriarty.
We're gonna have to get younger selectmen.
Do we have it?
I nominate a younger selectman.
Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Could always get Miracle here.
Later for you.
Any other nominations for this position? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
Second.
Okay, nominations for this position are closed. Another position for local school committee member for 3 years. Do I have a nomination? We need a nomination for this position.
Does that person have to be present?
No,
They have to sign by when?
Monday.
By Monday.
Monday.
I nominate Christina Conklin.
Christina Conklin, middle initial?
Al.
L.
Second?
Second.
Any other nominations for this position? Can I get a motion to close nominations for this position?
So moved.
Second. Planning board member for 3 years. This is, Mike Kirkalonis presently has this position.
I
Can I get a
nominate Mike
nomination?
Kirkalonis.
Second.
Middle
We have a
initial.
middle initial on Michael.
J.
Michael J. Michael J. Kirkalonis. We have a nomination and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Jenny, you were an aye. You.
It's the chalk.
Kirk. Kirk Hugh.
3 years went by in a flash, didn't it, Michael?
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other nominations for this position?
I move nominations be closed.
Second.
Nominations closed. Next position we have is planning board member. It's a new position for 3 years. Do we have a nomination? Dana?
I nominate Diane Holland.
Second.
Second.
We have a second, we have a second. Okay. Diane Poland?
Middle initial?
No middle
No.
initial. Any other nominations for this position? All right, can I get a motion to close?
I move nominations be closed.
Aye.
Another new position for the planning board is for 2 years. Can I get a nomination for that planning board position?
Joe Strugowski.
Joe Strugowski?
Is that a conflict?
We better
Second.
check the spelling of that.
Joseph?
Middle initial?
C.
Can I do JOS?
We don't need younger people, we need people with shorter names. You did well. At least I can spell.
How many years?
C-O-W.
That's not how it's spelled, is it?
C-O-W.
T-R-Z-E-G.
I don't think that looked right.
It's Irish.
Maybe we should do this as like, what's my line? You come in and sign yourself in.
All right, any other nominations for this position?
Move the nomination closed.
Second.
All right, the nominations are closed for this position. Planning board member for 1 year. Nominations.
I nominate Paul R. Jenkins.
Paul R. Jenkins.
Got it?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any other nominations for this position? Jen?
I nominate Sandra Hay.
Do we have a second?
Was there
All
a
in
middle
favor?
initial?
Any middle initial? Christine's on track.
No.
Okay.
Any other nominations for this position?
Catherine, you did more? Catherine, you did more.
Spell that, Jim.
I
know.
I didn't know how to spell that.
Better.
No nicknames.
What's her middle initial, Jim?
Doesn't work out.
We need a second on that?
We have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, any other nominations for this position? All right, can I have a motion to close nominations? Okay.
Second.
Last one is our moderator for 1 year. Do we have a motion?
Jay Nicholas.
J. Nicholas Spiller.
Second. Second.
He's never present, but he always seems to show up at the town meetings.
And his grace.
Thank God.
Move the nomination be closed.
Second.
All right, the nominations are closed.
Good job, Jim.
Nice job. That's a real, you see the stance on that too?
I know.
Oh.
Get to be tall, yeah.
Well done. And the chocolate, the haze and everything.
Why did you do it?
Yeah, are we allowed discussion?
No.
That could be dangerous.
Can I bring a matter? Can I bring a matter up? There's a gentleman here with us tonight who's running for the first congressional district seat here in Western Massachusetts. He has served 10 years in the state senate. He marched in our Independence Day parade. Even though he's a Democrat, I support him.
There you go, John.
He got his MBA from the same graduate school I did, so I know he's got a good business mind. Andrea, would you like to say a word or two?
I'd be happy to, John. Thank you.
I don't know if this is completely appropriate.
And let me just say that anyone who wants to support Andrea and is either a registered Democrat or unenrolled can sign this to get his name on the ballot.
John, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, but you gotta wait. You gotta wait for your chairman to be.
Good evening. I know you've got a lot of important business here. I don't want to get in the way. I will tell you that we have, in the last 2 weeks, have covered 52 caucuses in the 86 cities and towns in this new congressional district. This is the biggest crowd I have seen in any one of them. You picked a good year. Yeah. I'm hoping that as goes Conway, so goes the Commonwealth. But I really just want to be here to introduce myself to you. My name is, as John said, my name is Andy Nusiforo. My full name is Andrea Francesco Nusiforo Jr.
Be running for town office with me.
You can fit me on the board. I'm born and raised in Pittsfield. I am the second of 5 children. My father was Andrea Francesco Nusiforo. I was his first son, thus the name. And some of you may remember from my previous service in the state senate, I represented the Berkshire district in the state senate for 10 years, which at that time was 48 cities and towns in western Massachusetts. Now, all of those cities and towns in that district are in this new congressional district. Folks may remember that there was a redistricting process that took place within the last couple of months, and these districts in Massachusetts have been completely redrawn. This new district is now 86, as I mentioned, cities and towns in western and central Massachusetts, and I am running in the Democratic primary for that newly drawn congressional seat. So I hope that I'll have a chance to meet every one of you over the next several months between now and September when the primary is. I'll make sure that I have my cards and other information here if anyone would like to see it. But I really just wanted to come and introduce myself to you, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, and there'll be nomination papers and other things here. Thanks.
Thank you.